Now, concerns have been raised that airline passengers won't be able to receive funds for flights cancelled due to the coronavirus travel restrictions. We're joined by Eoghan Corry, editor of TravelExtra.ie. Eoghan, thanks indeed for talking to us. Look, I suspect...
Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, good to talk to you. I suspect there's loads of listeners out there who are in the position that I'm in, booked flights for summer holiday later in the summer, wondering what's going to happen. Will we get a refund? Will we get a voucher? Are we any clearer at this point?
It's a bit of a drama, Shane. The problem is that the airlines are all facing basically an existential crisis. It's been well covered. They've all been trotting to governments all week over the last 3 weeks. Alitalia very spectacularly renationalised. The reason is that if they face these refund bills, they're beyond anything they've ever imagined. Just to give you an example, would be 3.5 billion in Lufthansa, a lot of long-haul travel, 3 billion faced by BA and the IAG group, BA Iberia and Aer Lingus and Air France, and about 770 million by EasyJet. Ryanair facing around 700 million. They carry more passengers, but they have a lower fare. That's the sort of level that they're facing at. And what they've done is they've trotted off to Brussels straight away and say, can you make sure EU 261 doesn't apply? We don't have to come up with cash, and this is our solution. We come up with vouchers instead. Brussels initially said no, but the lobbying is still going on, and it's interesting that 5 European countries have enacted legislation which effectively throws out EU 261 and the Package Holiday Directive and said vouchers are legal. Britain is being lobbied on that, Germany's being lobbied on that, and we did here expect some sort of clarification from the Department of Transport yesterday. It didn't come. I'm not sure if they've taken the weekend off, but it may come today.
Okay, so what do you think about the voucher? I have to say, if I was offered a voucher now from the airline, I'm flying with Aer Lingus for my flight in July, I'd probably be happy enough with that. I mean, I'm hearing as well that you might get an extra few percent on top. I think I'd probably take, because the reality is I'm going to use it at some point. It mightn't be in 2020, but at some point I'm going to use it.
And that Aer Lingus voucher scheme is extant for 5 years. It's quite unusual in that it gives you 5 years. It also gives you 110%, as you alluded to, of the fare. So you get an extra on it. So that, has turned up for some people when they go looking for the classic time, this time of the year, the classic place everybody goes is the Canaries, and the equivalent shoulder season would be September, October. They discover that sometimes the price is hiked up a little bit more than the 10%. Not exactly gouging by the airline, because the way aviation works is computers make the decisions, and as fewer seats are left, the prices will creep up. The other tactic that's been used by airlines, and is very common for the Middle Eastern and the American ones, and Air France came up with something similar, was that you get a voucher for 1 year, you get your cash back at the end of it. Last Friday, exactly a week ago, the US government, the US Department of Transportation said, please give money. You have to refund your customers in cash. And that's in the context that they were looking for 25 billion euro of government aid in America. It's not quite clear whether the same thing will happen in Europe, that the vouchers will be told you have to come up with the cash, because the law is that EU 261 still applies. They have to give you back your cash within a 2-week period. And we've got to bear in mind that the financial circumstances of a lot of households has changed very dramatically in the last 2 weeks. Vouchers are of little use to people like that.
That's very true. If you've lost your job, easy for me to say when I haven't lost my job. If you've lost your job, very, very different, of course.
And travel agents, Shane, are caught in this, because legally, under the Package Holiday Directive, they have to give the cash back to the customers within that period of time. And the airlines are saying, oh, you're not going to get the cash back from us under their GDS systems. So travel agents, who employ about 3,500 people in Ireland and provide an important service, they're facing an existential crisis out of this. Their position is that they're lobbying the department to say, make the airlines pay the refunds, because the customer needs the money, but make sure that our customers are included in that the airlines give us the money to refund. Travel agents work on really tight margins of sometimes about 3 or 4%.
Okay.
And in a small town in the west of Ireland, you can't escape your customers.
Okay. Eoghan, thanks for bringing us up to speed on that. Eoghan Corry there, editor of TravelExtra.ie.